I can definitely tell with one thing certainly from this Bleach chapter. One, I can definitely say a lot of motherfuckers like me, including myself, like, you know, we were confused as hell going into this chapter. But also as well, coming from this one as well, I was like, wow, the whole prediction that I had last week was completely wrong, but somewhere near the ballpark it was weird. But let's just get right into this chapter of Bleach. So straight to last, we do get to see a little bit of a flashback to like Shinsuke, or like a little tiny bit. I thought we would have got a full like kind of little backstory into him, but we just got to say like him like sort of chilling out. He's like he's there with a big sister that kind of suspiciously looks a lot like Nano, and we kind of get the whole like confirmation about how everything is. While like we saw like the snippet of like Nano come rushing out on there, going on the X-axis, and like what the fuck? Like why is she going out there with all people? And it turns out like Kyokotsu, like her Zanpakuto, like in general and all that, is saying like basically that isn't that like the one that we're seeing right now, the little ninja god, that isn't Nano's Zanpakuto at all. It's like we turn that saying, you know, oh by the way, it's like this like Zanpakuto, this is still part of mine as well. We have to hide it away from you because there's this whole family line like kind of curse that is in like Nanao's family, and it's saying, you know, basically Ohana made Okyo in order to like hide your Zanpakuto. Like basically his Zanpakuto made like this part of it as well, like just to even conceal the Zanpakuto, and that was apparently her mother's wish. And from what we got from this, especially is that like whenever the women wed and all that, but like, you know, it was an entire family of them, and it was like, but all the men that entered the Issei family apparently died quite young to like the Issei curse. And one of those people actually, which was very interesting, was that basically Nanao's like sister, like or sister and all that, was actually like married into the family, and that was Kyoraku's like brother. Like that is like that was his like sister-in-law. So that's kind of like we saw the first part saying, oh okay, that's his sister-in-law, like from what we know. And he was like, yeah, but I was never good terms with my like brother and all that, but once he like met your like sister, he was like everything became a lot more happier. And it's like basically it has a lot to do with this sword that was like descended from like generations and generations upon. Like it reveals the sword, like, you know, it's like holy shit, it's like this thing looks really fucking powerful as fuck and all that. So what we found out is that Nano's mother, or like, you know, like we found from here like that Kyoraku's like sister-in-law pretty much said like, I hid away this sword from you so, you know, you didn't have to go through the same curse, so you could actually go through like, you know, a happy life, you can marry someone, you can be in love with someone. And it's like we didn't want to pass this sword down to you, so, you know, you didn't go through your mother's curse. And it's just like Nanao's made the decision, it's for my own good, I've made the decision to accept the curse. And it's like getting the confirmation here, which is something like completely fucking rare. It's saying like, even if I accepted this curse, the person that I'd chosen to love would definitely think that the curse is ridiculous too. I feel like he'd say so with smiling. So getting confirmed right there, the whole thing, she's just pretty much confessed her love to Kyoraku, which I was like, that's wow, I wasn't expecting that actually, coming from that. Like that was always a little pairing that was like surprised, but it's like, if fucking Kyoraku and fucking like Nanao can have a relationship or a little confirmation on there, surely something could fucking happen now with Ichigo and Orihime at the end or something like that. I'm just saying. I will say though, one thing that I thought straight at this chapter and all that, which would make this thing really like sentimental and really sad, is actually Kyoraku dies because of the injuries like after the end, like he took from the X-axis. I would absolutely like, I wouldn't want him to die, but at the same time that would make a lot more of the deeper meaning to it. It's like, oh, no matter what, you can't escape it. Even though it wasn't responsible for the curse and all that, it's like right at the end it's like, oh, I guess you can't escape the curse not so other. I'm like, oh fuck, Kyoraku dies. I'm like, no, I don't want that to happen. But that's the thing, we found out the reason, because when I first thought why, like from last chapter, which I really glad this was addressed and all that from there, saying, by the way, there's a reason why this Zanpakuto is really powerful, and apparently it's like when it's faced with something that's on a god level, which that kind of made me upset. It's like, why the fuck is X-axis on this like godly level compared to all the others and all that? Like, why Peninda was supposed to be like the elites as well, why is like X-axis such a huge difference? But that's besides the point. Apparently this thing is strong enough to like scare any like heavenly being it touches, and it's saying we released it right now. It's like from the Shinto family, and it's like the holy sword Haikyu, which is like pretty much this giant ass sword, but it hasn't got like no blade part at all. It's got like the tiniest part from it like next to the hill, but it's like blunt as fuck. And it was like, apparently it's one of the most, you know, powerful royal weapons. And I thought That's interesting. It's like, what is this? It's like, you know, it makes this unleash this ultimate kind of blast that just destroys everything. And it's just shocking as fuck to see that Nano has actually got something in the series. So like 651 chapters, she's literally done nothing apart from like deflect one, like stop Hashwell with like, you know, one like sort of move, like that's it. Like, so it's honestly very shocking to see that she's doing something in this arc. And honestly, I think it would mean a lot more if honestly if like Kyoraku like actually dies in this stuff, like saying like, oh, I guess I couldn't accept like, you know, the curse at all and all that. It's like, that would be interesting to see if that's the case. It's like, I really don't want Kyoraku to die, but I can see that, and I'm honestly looking forward to it, and I'm shocked, honestly, that Bleach, you know, my prediction was wrong with it. I kind of got near the same ballpark at least, but I wasn't expecting the whole thing of this Zanpakuto to be special. I'm saying like, oh, this is a special Zanpakuto altogether because it's the one that, like, you know, was descended throughout the bloodline and stuff, and I feel like they tried to address that, like, I believe that was in one of the Bleach movies, if I believe, like, the whole thing with Hitagaya's blade is that it was, like, descended from, like, person to person and all that, but it's like, whoever was the strongest inherited it. Like, I believe that was in the second Bleach movie, so I'm kind of like, it's kind of getting some stuff kind of reminding me from that one, from the Diamond Dust Rebellion. So overall, I really did enjoy this chapter. Really can't wait to see what's going to happen next week. Please, Kyoraku. Like, I know, either way, I feel like I'm going to be upset, but it's going to be very sentimental with it. But if Kyoraku doesn't die, I'll be like, ah, okay, but still that theory about Aizen being released after this and all that be kind of interesting. So looking forward to see what's going to happen in the next chapter of Bleach. But that's all for me, so thank you so much for watching. As always, what did you think of 651? But I will catch you guys next time.